Live from Italia. I'm in Greece. Finally made it to Ia.
Live from Spain.
I'm in Bali. Live in Santorini, Greece.
From a beautiful, amazing Tulum. Hey everyone, it's Amanda from AmandaFrancis.com. Don't send me any hate mail about how it's unsafe that I'm driving and live streaming, because I'm not going to look at the camera, I'm going to look at the road, I'm just going to talk to you guys. So I want to riff. What do I want to say to you? I want to say to you that I never want to give you the impression that business is hard, or that making it is hard, or that making a lot of money is hard. That's not my intention at all, because I think there is every day the choice to let it be easy, every day the choice to pursue your own path of least resistance to doing the things you love, like hiring out what you don't love, to just making smart strategic decisions from the beginning. I don't think it always has to be hard to be in business for yourself, but the thing is, it is hard for a lot of us in the beginning. And part of that is that we make it hard. And part of that is that there's just a big fucking learning curve, you know? I knew nothing about using social media well. I knew nothing about growing an online presence. My early copy wasn't persuasive. It wasn't good, you know? Like, I did a lot wrong because I didn't fucking know anything. Because none of us know anything in the beginning, and that's the nature of being something new at something. But as I'm coming up, you know, on my 6th year in business, March 13th, 6 years ago, is the night I stayed up all night teaching myself WordPress, building my first website. So we're about to be on the 6th year. And as I come on my 6th year, I'm just like, I'm so glad I kept going when it was hard. I kept going when it was hard. I kept going when it didn't make any sense. I kept going when I hadn't made any money. Like, I didn't make money for like a couple years. You know, I made like maybe $600 the second year. I don't know, the numbers I've made each year are somewhere in the group. You guys can find that post. But I kept going when people were asking me, have you made any money yet? I kept going when it didn't make sense to my family. I kept going when it looked like I was going to have to get a job. I kept going when I was applying for jobs on the side. I kept going. Do you get that? That like I kept going. And there was no logical reason, other than that guy driving that G-Wagon's really cute. There was no logical reason to believe that it was going to work. Like, nothing about it was telling me that it was going to work, that I was doing anything right, that I had any kind of edge, that I had anything going for me. Like, looking back, I can tell you that this part of my personality and this part of my personality and the way I am in this way and the way I am in this way has all been used for good to grow a business. But like, I just felt fucking stupid, and I felt like it wasn't working, and I felt crazy. But I believed, you know, I wanted it really bad. I wanted it bad enough to keep going. I wanted it bad enough to keep trying. I wanted it bad enough to get pissed and be like, God, it's time. What the fuck? Like, are we doing this? I wanted it. And so I just had never stopped. But that's the thing. The difference between me, okay, and this isn't bragging, because who the fuck cares what I made? Who the fuck cares what I earned? Like, you care about what you can do, right? And I only say it to be an example, but I had a $38,000 day this month. I had a $70,000 week. Yesterday, I hit, like, I think 103 for the month. I think today I hit 105 for the month. I still have 2 days of the month left. I have an even bigger goal for what I want to do in the next 2 days. But the only difference between me being able to say those numbers and someone else who's telling you the story about how it's hard and how it didn't work is I kept going. I just didn't stop. I just kept going, and I got a little bit smarter all the time, right? I got a little bit smarter. I got a little bit better. I learned a little bit more. I hired out the things that I really didn't know how to do, that I got really stuck on. I got better at the things that only I could do, and I kept going. And I kept going. And like, keep going, you know? Like, only you can decide that this is going to work for you, whatever it is you want to do. Only you can decide that you're not going to give up. I mean, like, I think that's the biggest, if I would say there was one key to making it, my one key to making it would be deciding that you're going to make it, deciding that that's what's going to happen, being only available for things working out for you. And then day in, day out, when it looks like it's not working, you keep believing that it is working, right? Like, if we're talking about being an energetic match for everything working out for you, like, I mean, it was daily. I was saying to myself, God is on my side, the universe has my back, everything's coming together for me, everything's being used for my good. Like, God, who would you have me help? Like, what would you have me say? What do you need from me? You know what I mean? Like A Course in Miracles, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? You know, like, what can I do today? How would you have me serve today? And then I found myself, like, in Facebook groups, giving tips on manifesting, giving tips on becoming a life coach, talking about the things I knew how to do, right? Like, I mean, I have a background in, like, psychology, and my emphasis is in play therapy. So some days it was talking to people about parenting issues, about marriage. I mean, I was just available. I was available to be used. I was available to be helpful. I attracted clients by being online and being helpful. I attracted clients by giving free content every day, right? I was just always giving whatever I had to give, telling a story about whatever I had to say, talking about a client who had you know, a good experience with me or a life-changing result. Like, I just kept sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing, and over time people began to know me as a life coach because I kept fucking telling everyone that I was a life coach every day. I didn't really give them an option, right? So then they thought of me that way because I kept talking about myself that way. That's branding. I didn't know that was branding at the time. So over time people began to think of me the way I was presenting myself, and that's still what I do, right? Like, right now I'm primarily presenting myself as a manifestation teacher and like a money expert because that's what I want to be most right now. For a long time I was primarily presenting myself as a business coach, but like, I was just taking whatever I knew and sharing it. Like, that's how I got people to think of me that way, as I just presented myself that way and share what I knew about that subject, but consistently, you know, every day for 6 years I've given something for free for Facebook. I haven't missed a fucking day. In the beginning it was like quotes and shit from other people, and as I kind of developed my own wisdom and my own style and my own whatever, you know, there was more and more blogs and vlogs and PDFs and whatever on whatever content I knew. Like, that's all I do, is I get online and I teach what I know for sure. I get online every day and I teach the shit I know, and that helps people to think of me as an expert, and then they're thinking me as an expert, and then I'm like, hey, I have this thing for sale, I want to help you with this, and then they're like, oh, I want to learn how to do this, let me buy from you, and then I manifest it. You guys know a lot about manifestation steps. I get clear on what I want, I believe I can have it, I remove the limiting beliefs that say I can't have it, and I hold space for what I want, and I hold space for what I want, like it's my full-time job, and I especially hold space for what I want when it looks like it's not going to happen. Like, my goal for the next 2 days is really crazy. There's no, like, logical reason I should be able to do what I'm about to do, but I'm going to, because that's what I do, because I decided. Do you get it? Like, we have a lot of power. We have a whole lot of co-creative power. We get to choose, right? We get to choose. And when we choose, and we choose with confidence, and we choose with faith, and we have that undeniable expectation that what we desire will be ours, when we're in that zone, we give the universe a whole lot to work with. We give, you know, your team of angels, or, you know, whatever you want to fucking call it. We give, like, the forces for good that are out there. Like, I think we all have angels, whatever. You can think about it however you want. But we give what is out there on our side, God, whatever, we give it a whole lot to work with when we believe in ourselves, and when we believe that anything is possible for us, and when we know what we want, and we're clear on what we want, we've decided we're fucking gonna have it, and we're unavailable for anything else, and we're like, okay, this or something better, let's do the damn thing, then, like, miracles get to happen. But I'm telling you, the biggest part is that when it looks like it's not going to happen, you don't go, oh, I surrender. You go, it looks like it's not going to happen, and I believe anyway. It might not be this time, but it will be next time. It might not be today, but it'll be tomorrow. But I am only available for getting the thing I want, right? And it's not like this grippy, controlling thing. I'm totally available for, like, divine intervention, and I expect divine intervention. I expect miracles. I expect things to happen to help me reach my goals. Like, I expect them. This is not all me. This is not Amanda forcing and controlling, right? This is like This is like, okay, so I have a goal. I believe I can have it. I'm available for it. It's non-negotiable. I know it's going to be mine. And then I expect something crazy to happen to help me do it. And I do my part. Like, during the last launch, I told you guys we're going to do a live stream for 5 days. So I showed up every fucking day for that live stream, and I showed up with everything I had for the live stream, and I wrote emails every day, and I wrote Facebook posts every day, and I did everything I knew to do in the natural, but I'm telling you that would not have been enough for the goal I wanted, right? I had to believe when what I wanted was completely unrealistic. So the same way I had $100,000 a month, that's gross, that's before I pay my affiliates and pay my assistants. So we generated 6 figures in a month, but the same way I did that the same way I did anything. I remember when 6,000 a month was the goal, and that seemed so big, and it was blowing my mind. And I remember when I hit 42 and I felt like I was gonna die because I felt like I wasn't worthy of it, and I felt like I was gonna like get sick or get in a car accident and lose all 42, or I had like $18,000 in my checking account, and I had never had that much money in my life, and I felt like something. I mean, like I felt all the things. We all have the normal experience of being human and feeling not good enough and feeling not worthy, and our blocks and our limiting beliefs come up, but then we have to process them. We have to go through them. If we stay a slave to them, if we stay in fear around them, fear is pretty powerful, right? So we're attracting that negative thing when we stay paralyzed by it, right? So I'm a big advocate for like looking that fear in the face, disproving it, looking at it as not ultimately true, telling a new story, and going on our merry way, believing in something more powerful than the fear, which is love. So no matter what it is whatever goal I'm reaching, for me, it's infused in love and it's infused in service. The 6-figure month, yay, 6-figure month. The 6-figure month was so wrapped in the number of people I would help if I hit that goal. It was so wrapped in what it was going to do for generations of women and their children, and it was so wrapped in so many things. I knew my number. I was a match for my number. I stayed believing for my number, but it's so infused with love and service that there's not a whole lot of room for fear anymore. Does that make sense? Like when you really, really believe that what you desire is of the highest good, then it's like, it doesn't really matter what crazy shit your ego says to you, because you believe in something so much greater and so much stronger, than the lies you're being told by your mind. My message would be to don't give up, to keep doing it when it looks like it's not working. But it's not that you just keep doing things that aren't working. You're always doing more of what works and less of what doesn't work, and more of what feels good, and more of what feels like, oh, I'm getting it, that's on the right path. But then at the same time, you're energetically believing that you can have everything you want, and then you're able to receive the divine guidance that's like, do it this way, do it that way, try this, try that, Like I've never taken a fucking internet marketing class, but I've been guided to do a lot of things that were really wise as far as being seen on the internet goes, but it was a hit of inspiration. It wasn't something a marketing guru told me, you know what I mean? And now, as someone who understands a lot about internet marketing, I'm like, oh, that was fucking smart. Only listen to people who feel good to you, who sound good to you. Don't give up, stay your path, believe, keep dreaming, keep getting clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer on what you want. Make it your full-time job to disprove everything that says you can't have what you want. Your job is to stay a match for what you want, as much of the time as possible. Like I go back into that place of it's mine. Like it's like a shifting. Like I go back into the place of like, this is what I want, I will have it. Like I go back into the place of being aligned with it, knowing I can receive it, and it feels like it like clicks. It feels like yes, it's mine. And because I'm practiced at becoming an energetic match, and because I'm practiced at getting into a place where I know I will receive, I can do it fast. But it used to be a really huge battle in my mind when I was trying to believe I could have something that seemed realistic. It used to take a whole lot of time, but now it's easy because I've been practicing for a long time. Does that make sense? So keep getting better at the spiritual energetic side, and then keep getting better at the business side by just practicing and trying things out as you go, and then being led to anything you're led to. Like, there's definitely been mentors. I haven't had a ton of coaches. I've had a couple coaches, but there's been people who I followed online, and just seeing what they did taught me and gave me inspiration for what was next. Okay, so yeah, I love you.